Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. It's a beautifully hot evening. August 27th. Just moved the cows down in the bottom. This is on Dave and Sue's on this side, and this is Ryan. Over here, our hay supplier. And this year, Ryan called me up and asked me if I'd be interested in grazing this. And so we're gonna start in the morning. We got it all cleared. We got a high tensile wire all the way around this whole field, all the way down that tree line. And Ryan was gracious enough to let me run my wire on the other side of that tree line there. So what that did is I've got shade all the way along that field now. And then we ran the high tensile wire back in the trees as far as we could along the creek. And we've got 2 creek drinkers over there. Pretty good holes of water. A lot of sign of beaver. The beaver's been chewing on some of that, so they've got some good holes. Beaver like to, hold water. Anyway, we've got the bales are all laid off where the cattle can't get them. What I did is I just fenced them off where the cows can still come in behind here and clean this up on both sides. Because we're gonna stack the hay. Once the cattle get through grazing this, we're gonna put them all on posts, our logs, our 6 to 8 inch logs, and they're all gonna be right here on this fence line, all the way along here. We're gonna leave, probably 50 or 60 bales in here. So when we come in here this winter, we'll graze the stockpile, and then we're gonna put some of this fertility right back onto the field where it came off of. All that's gonna do, I say all, it's gonna do several things. It's gonna add a lot of fertility to this hay field, putting the hay back where it came from. Also the manure and the urine and the trampling. Folks, there's no clover out here. I mean, zero. I walked it the other day, I couldn't find a single plant. And that was on that side of the field. I'm gonna walk over here on this side, see if I see any. Okay, y'all are witnesses now. Next summer, I'll come back here after we've grazed it, just for the fall and winter. You see, I've got 150 pounds of clover seed on this field. I broadcast it, it was like 3 years ago. It never came up. It can't compete with this fescue. It needs animals to trample it. And so the seed's still laying there. I'm convinced of that. We're gonna find out together whether the seed is still here or not. Because next spring, after grazing it, I'm guessing we're gonna see some clover come up. I can't see one single plant. Isn't that amazing? Pretty much all fescue. It's got a little water grass in it. It's got some fall panicum, a few weeds. But it's all new growth. This was baled the end of June. And so it's had July and might say all of August, 60 days rest. It's tender. It's really tender. The cattle are gonna do pretty well on this. There's that stick tight. Right here, they're gonna nail that. They love stick tight. Yeah, it's just pretty down here. Very, very peaceful. Somebody asked the other day when they saw that high tensile wire we put in, we just put in 1 wire. If they get through that wire, they're gone. And they said, "Is that your perimeter fence? 1 wire?" And I'm like, "Yep." But I went on to clarify in that comment, don't try that at home with cattle that aren't broke to hot wire. Our cattle are extremely broke. The calves have been shocked since they've been born. Everything in that hurdle there knows what hot wire is, and they don't want to mess with it. Now, I put that solar charger on this, and because it's got quite a bit of vegetative load on the old fence. See, we put a switch here and we put a switch on that side to shut off that farm from the big charger, because we only had like, I don't know, 12 or 1400 volts back here. So I thought with this bigger solar charger here, just being in here 2 days, I could boost this up. And I've got it at about 1800 to 2000 volts, which I'm not real, I'd rather have 8,000, anybody would. But because our cattle are broke, they're gonna do fine. So there's my ground rod. I drove it in the ground, that yellow thing. I had a good post pounder right there. Those are bale logs. So I drove that ground rod in, and then I put my ground, which is the green clip, on the ground. And then here's my red over here. That's the hot one. And this is a speed right that I got from Powerflex Fence. I love these things. Just on polywire going around ponds and strip grazing, this thing will put out 8,000 volts. We've got all that wire on there through that vegetation. We really need to come in and clean that out, but maybe we will this winter. So it's powering up all that. Here's our rope gate. I love, this is the poly rope we got at Powerflex. Good stuff. It's got 22 steel filaments in it. It's very, very conductive, and it's visual. The cattle can see it. And then on this side, I've got my trusty old iron side handle. And see, it's got a spring right here in this handle. That spring goes up inside this handle. So watch this. See, it's easy to get off and on. And you can run over that handle with a truck. You're not gonna hurt it. Some of those plastic handles you run over, they're ruined. Just for the gate here, I told Isaac, I said, I'd feel safer. Let's just put 2 in here. And so we did. I don't want my cows getting out. And we came up and over. So there's our fiberglass post going up, over to that one, and down. So when the cows come in here in the morning, we're gonna turn them in here in the morning, I can leave these gates open and I still got power going over the top. So I like going over the top of gates. The only other way you could do that would be bring a trencher down here, or a spade, or a shovel, and start digging in a line and put the wire in the ground. That's a lot of work. And I've got trees here. Can you imagine trying to dig past that stump? No, I can't. Where the calves are just turning and burning out there, man. You can just hear them rip, rip, rip. I'm just sitting here, folks, and I mean, I am sweating. I had to get my hanky out, wipe my face off. I can't really see. It's one bad thing about wearing glasses in the summertime is you got to take them off and wipe your face off sometimes. I'm anxious to get on this, so this is going to be cool. So what we did is I split it in 4 pieces. So there's 27 acres down here. And because it is fall stockpile time, it's approaching really quickly. It's not growing right now, it's too darn hot. But here in a couple weeks it will be, and I don't want to take this down too short. Look at a deer. Look at him. See the white, see him jumping over there? Way over on the side of that field. There we go. He's still jumping. Running all along it there. I think I counted 12 down here the other day. Anyway, what we did, they'll come through that gate I just showed you. And so this will be their first paddock. We ran a wire from that side through the middle of that field, all the way over to that water point. So I've got a water point over there, and I've got one over there on that side of the field, because the creek has a huge bend in it. And I'm lucky, we've had enough rain. The creek is flowing. It's got a really nice riffle. As a matter of fact, you gotta have rubber boots on a lot of it to clear it without getting it, getting your feet wet. There goes another deer. Deer haven down here. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better deer hunting when I get done. I can tell you that. because this whole bottom's gonna have 20 to 30% clover in it when I'm done. There's none down here now. All the clover's over here on my side, on Dave and Sue. There's tons of clover over there. There's not any over here. But here's my fence. So this will be Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, and then we'll go to that quadrant over there. That'll be Wednesday morning, Wednesday night over there. And I'm not going to take it down too short, but you know, there's 340 head of animals in there. They're taking down some forage. And if you're not careful, you take it down too short this time of year, and then you don't get it to grow back in a timely fashion. You don't have any winter stockpile. So that's what we're doing. And it's powered up right over there. That dang horsefly. Whew, those things can lay a wallop on you. Now I know why the cows swat their tails at them. They hurt when they bite you. They're not just biting, they're sucking blood. They're coming after your body liquids. Oh, sucker. Sucker's getting me. Jan just shaved me, but gave me a good haircut. I'm glad she did, because I would be sweating to death out there. Gotta get some of that hair off my head. You don't want any extra hair on your head when it's 110 degrees out here. I tell you what's getting us, it's the humidity. The humidity is, if I had a cup and I set it out here, I bet I could almost drink the air. That's how humid it is. Oh, down horsefly heat. Oh, you always freak out when you hear them. Oh, he's on me. When you hear them stop flying, you know they're stuck on you and they're getting ready to bite you and suck some blood. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Y'all saw what it looked like before. I'll probably do an after video showing what it looks like. We're pretty excited to add 27 acres of really high quality grazing onto our farm. And in the wintertime, this is gonna save us feeding, you know, less hay, because it is standing hay, that's what it is. But it's helping the hay contractor, the hay owner, because he's not gonna have to put as much fertilizer down, because we're gonna cover this thing in cow manure. It's gonna help the deer hunter that has this lease, because he's gonna have more clover. This whole thing is gonna be a food plot, folks. The whole thing. There's gonna be clover all over this bottom. And with our long rest periods, it's gonna be special. So it's getting dark. I still gotta go do a few chores tonight while it's cool. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see ya. Well, we'll be seeing some of y'all in Ireland real soon, like next week. Y'all have a good one.